Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of the Element Hunter. Today I have two special guests. They have something in common. Both of them have a YouTube channel. Both of them live in their Honda Element instead of living in a house. Both of them have an ultimate life goal.
Thank you for having me, Element Lifestyle. I've been a fan of the channel for quite some time, so it's quite the honor to be actually meeting in person and being featured on the channel. My name is How Vu. My channel is the How Vu Moto Vlog, and I've been living at my 2008 Honda Element EX for about 6 months now, traveling full-time while living in the Honda Element. My goal is to visit all of America's national parks. There are 63 parks, and we should be able to get to most of them while actually living in the Element, and then quite a few others may be only accessible by plane, or maybe have to fly to Hawaii or something like that. But it's definitely a great goal, and there's a lot to see in between each national park, a lot to do, a lot of experiences, a lot of people to meet. So I'm rather looking forward to this.
It's a pleasure also to meet you. Can you please tell me a little bit more about your YouTube channel?
Yeah, so over at the How Vu Moto Vlog, it started as a motorcycling blog, but now I've since sold all my things, I've sold all my motorcycles, and I'm just trying to document my journey as I travel through the country living full-time out of the Honda Element. It's a very unique experience, and I kind of wanted to share that. I'm a millennial, so I'm relatively young. A lot of people that you see traveling the country living in RVs, they're admittedly older. They're grandparents. I see them at the campsites. It's not often that you see a millennial car camping. So I think it's a unique, fresh perspective, and I'm glad to help out where I can in terms of sharing my experience and putting content out there.
What was your main reason to do van life?
I saw van life on YouTube a couple of years ago, and I saw people with their sprinters and just living, traveling in this tiny space, and it really captivated me. It brought me back to a time when I was younger, and my aunt and uncle, they had kind of like a camper van, and I remember how fun it was to just go out in it and take naps in it and watch movies, and just, it was so fun. It's like a kid like having a sleepover or being in a treehouse. There's certain things that are just innately, somehow we're just gravitated to that. So I knew I kind of wanted to do that someday, and at a certain point, working the 9-to-5 grind, not truly being satisfied with what I was doing, I just made the decision that I wanted to be free, and I wanted my time to be my own. And in order to do that, some sacrifices had to be made. You know, you have to kind of compact your life a little bit to make this financially reasonable, you know, sustainable for at least this part of my life while I'm growing and I'm investing and I'm just kind of building out still. So this is what it looks like to do that, you know, in order to travel full time. This is what it looks like for me. And that's really just, it was about the freedom, to put it short and sweetly.
What do you do for a living?
Right now, I am an Amazon seller, so all of my income comes in pretty passively. I just have a couple of products that I'm selling, and it's really an investment. When money comes in, I put it right back into the business to grow my business or to source new products and get new inventory, spend money on advertising, that kind of thing. And it's still in the early stages, but I'm super, super grateful that I'm able to pretty much finance my travels. You know, admittedly, I don't need a ton of money to travel on the road, even though gas is quite expensive here in California, but luckily I can manage my expenses, just food and gas and whatever travel expenses in between, so very happy about that.
Why did you pick the Honda Element to be your house?
The main reason I chose the Honda Element is because I wanted something special. I knew how unique it was. I knew that especially in COVID, people wanted this car. So I wouldn't have a hard time selling it after my journey if I decided to do that. And also, it's kind of unique. I kind of felt like I had a piece of history buying this Element. They no longer make it. It has a cult following, it has a great Facebook group with helpful, informative people that are just willing to like share their knowledge with you and just share their experience, share their journey. So part of the community as well, you know, once you have something that's not being made anymore, the community kind of grows, and it's nice to be a part of that. So that's a big reason.
You think the Element is part of helping you achieve your goal?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big boxy nature of the Element makes it really easy, especially for an SUV of this type, to just kind of do what you want with it, throw what you want in it. When you're building a platform or you're going to do a no-build kind of design, I mean, it's really It's a lot of possibility in this big square space with the removable seats. You can throw them back in. It still drives like a Honda, like a CR-V or like an Accord. It's still relatively economical, easy to work on. So yeah, I think it's a really, it's definitely helping me, especially in this beginning part of my van life journey where I'm a complete newbie. So being a complete newbie, not having to worry about where I'm going to park or how I'm going to park. I mean, this thing is just a regular vehicle. It can make the tight U-turns. You can reverse it into your spot. You know, you can park anywhere. So you can stealth camp anywhere. So it makes things a lot easier having just a normal sized vehicle.
How? Please show us your house.
All right, guys, so as far as the exterior of the Element, there's no crazy mods that stand out. It's pretty simple. I like it that way. You can't really tell that someone's living inside, and it's pretty much stock except for a couple minor things. Here I have this AVS bug deflector, and I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with the look of it, the ease of installation, the price, and its effectiveness. I mean, I guess I'm killing less bugs, right? They just fly over instead of dying on your windshield, kamikaze style, but I'm really happy with this ABS thing. There's no like logo on it, so it's very sleek. The OEM one is quite expensive from what I hear, so I'm really happy to get this one for well under $100. This is the 2008, so there's definitely some kind of facelift that went on with the 2007, 2008 models. It's just fully painted, so you don't get that two-tone classic Element effect. It looks more just like a standard SUV in my opinion. And the headlights kind of have this light smoke to them, which is a little different. I like that. It looks very modern, very clean. Exterior condition is not bad. This car was a New York car, so they definitely salt the roads there. They get a lot of snow there, so you can tell underneath there's a little bit of rust, and the alloy rims here, you can tell a little bit are kind of wearing out. But overall, you know, if you don't look too closely, it still looks very, very beautiful. I have these Yokohama Geolander G015s, which are a good balance between off-road and highway use. I mean, to be honest, most of my miles are on the highway. I just think that in my mind, you know, before I started this journey, if I were to go off-road or if I needed to reach dispersed campsites down a dirt road, down a gravel road or something like that, or on the sand, really, I think they've really mostly come in handy on the sand when I was at the beach in Pismo. Because honestly, for where you're taking the Element, most people can get away with just whatever tire, in my opinion. So this is not too aggressive, but gets the job done. They're not loud or anything like that, so I'm pretty happy with them. So over here we have some kind of window visors, I guess they're called. This is AVS, which is the same brand as the bug deflector. They do have their logo here, which I don't really love, but I guess I can scratch that off if I really wanted to, or just put some like solvent on it and just remove that logo. But it's pretty cool. It is, it's not as high quality plastic as the one up front, but it definitely gets the job done. For me, I don't really care much about the rain. A lot of people get these if they're a smoker in the car, so they want to roll down their window while it's raining or something like that and smoke. But for me, it's about, I get to lower my window up to this point, which is a good amount, right? And you can still let air in, and the bugs don't tend to go in just because this is there. So as well as kind of an aesthetic effect, it looks kind of cool. These were really cheap as well. I think they're like 30 bucks, maybe even less than 30. Easy to install. You just stick them in the window, and there's little like 3M tape. You just stick it in there, roll your window up, and then they're there. I've had no problems with these at all. Another thing you might notice is the heat shield window sunshades that I have. I have pretty much the whole car covered in them with the exception of these two back windows. And it's really important to me since I have my stuff in here, I have water in here, I have my fridge in here. I'm out of the car a lot. I'm hiking a lot and the sun is beating down on the car and it can easily get over 100 degrees in the car. So this helps quite a bit. This probably keeps the car up to 20, 25 degrees cooler than anything else. It's made of special material. I think the company that makes these heat shields, they also do like fighter jet technology, so they really do know what they're talking about. They're not cheap, however, but it's this nice gold color, and they suction cup onto the windows. And the reverse side is black, so if I want some privacy at night, I can just reverse them, and then you pretty much can't really tell what's in the window. But I leave these ones on this small window. They're on all the time because they don't really impair anything. And then these windows when I'm sleeping or when I'm out hiking or something like that, or even if I'm just going to be in the grocery store and it's a really hot day, I'll put these up. All right, so this is the top, this is the roof of the Element. These are the OEM crossbars. I really have nothing mounted to them at this point. The only thing I've done with the roof, as you can tell, is this Top Solar 100-watt flexible panel, which just happens to fit the Element perfectly. I mean, it's almost like it was destined to be on the Element. To my knowledge, out of shopping on Amazon, this is the only 100-watt flexible panel that has the dimensions that will fit the Element perfectly laid across like this. If not, you would have to lay it lengthwise like this, but I didn't really want to do that just for symmetrical reasons, and I wanted to make full advantage of these grooves in the roof, because the thing about flexible panels is you need a way to get a little air bubble underneath and for water to drain out. So it's kind of already built in that water is going to drain out through the slope of the roof and these little grooves on the Element, so it worked out really, really perfectly. I wire it along the edge with 3M VHB. 3M VHB is also what's adhering it to the roof. It's not going anywhere, I guarantee it. And luckily the wires just go in through the sunroof, and I can actually close the sunroof all the way, and just the rubber sealing just goes over the wires and it makes a tight seal still. All right, so this is the rear of the Element. Again, I have my heat shield back here, which is also nice because it offers some privacy. I don't necessarily want people walking by in the parking lot and just knowing that I live in the car. There's like a mattress in there, all my stuff is in there, so that's nice to have. I got my Maryland license plate here. Drop the tailgate, and yeah, so basically the setup involves a bed platform, right? And what the bed platform does is it allows you to have the bed without sacrificing storage space. I could easily just have the bed on the floor of the Element and have tons more headroom, but then I really wouldn't have a space to have containers like this. I have 3 containers like this, and it's all due to the bed platform that allows me to have that flexibility. So I have these 3 containers from Costco. This container is just kind of miscellaneous. It has camping supplies, it has emergency car stuff. There's like a can of Fix-A-Flat in there because I don't have a spare tire. This is just a yoga mat, by the way, for kind of like non-slip purposes. And underneath here, I removed the spare tire just for weight savings, and it's kind of hard to get to it anyway with all this crap, so I just figured take my chances. If I ever get stuck, I'm going to be calling Miguel to come and save me, or AAA. It depends who's closer. But there's those yoga mat. Also have a little 300-watt power inverter on the side there, which I haven't really used. When I go to the beach, sometimes I like to put my fridge right on the tailgate, and I ran it off the inverter, but I could have easily used the 12-volt adapter in the back. As you know, the Elements have a 12-volt outlet in the back here. And yeah, let's get to the bed. This is a twin-size mattress. It's actually a memory foam mattress, and on top of that is a Japanese floor mattress. So it's 2 layers of cushion, and then I have a little comforter which is also padded. So it works out well for me. I'm pretty used to sleeping on hard surfaces. I actually prefer it that way for my back, and it's pretty roomy. I think 2 little people could cozy up on there, but for just 1 little person, it's more than enough in my opinion. This is my drawer. I didn't build this drawer. I bought it from IKEA and I assembled it. It was like $40, which was really a great value, and it just fit the Element perfectly, and I was just so happy to find it. I was on IKEA because I knew I didn't want to build my own drawer, so I was on IKEA for quite some time, you know, looking through their website, and I came across this, and it just fit perfectly. I'm going to outfit it with stickers for my travels, so it's going to kind of come to life. And all I did was just not install the bottom drawer. So as you can see here, I have just, this is my supplements and my candy drawer, which is kind of weird because it's like health and not health in the same bucket, but it's a nice contrast, right? And then my Jackery 500, which is the powerhouse for everything. This is the input from the solar panel, so it's always plugged in, getting a charge when it's nice and sunny. As you can see now, it's nice and bright. We are getting 35 watts right now from the roof. And I have my USB ports there that are running the lights, my fan, and a phone charger. And then in the AC outlet, I have it hooked up to kind of like a surge protector so I can run more devices than just one. And that's going to power the air purifier and my refrigerator, my 2 biggest and pretty much only power hogs for AC power. We have this national parks checklist here, which I got on Etsy, which is really nice. It lists all the parks in the order in which they were founded, and I'm just checking them off as I go along. And it's also nice to get a visual representation of where I am and where the parks are. So that's that. These two drawers are clothing down here. I don't have a lot of clothing. I just have enough pretty much to go hiking and last me for the week. If I'm invited to a wedding or a formal affair, I don't know if they're cool with me showing up in like sandals and like a Patagonia pair of shorts, but that's what it's gonna be. And then on top here, I have like toiletries, towels, random stuff, just random stuff that I need when I'm just hanging out. So that's that. All right, guys, so this is the inside of the Element. As you can tell, it has the suicide doors, which is really nice and open. Kind of like bed platform here. This is my only protection in the car. This is a Glock 9mm that I carry with me, more so just for peace of mind, just recreational shooting as well. But yeah, so basically the way the bed platform works is the seats have to go all the way up and the platform kicks down, the legs kick out. I'll break that down for you in a second. The nice part about me is I'm kind of small. I can do this all while I'm inside the Element, just kind of hunching and crawling a little bit, but it's cool. I don't have to get out and let everyone know that I'm, you know, sleeping in my car, about to make the bed for the night. Pretty standard here. The seats were kind of tore up, so I got this little seat pan cover on Amazon. It was pretty cheap. It was like $25, and it's okay. I mean, I have no complaints. It's better than seeing the huge gash that's right underneath it. Everything interior is in decent shape. I can't really complain there. The only aftermarket mods I have up front, pretty much just the Sony unit in there. It's a double DIN unit with the touchscreen, and it has Apple CarPlay, which is pretty essential to me. And then I have a little magnetic phone holder for the new iPhone that just pops up there, and then a GoPro mount. And that's pretty much all up in the front. Again, I have a heat shield, windshield, sunshade. Keeps the car really, really cool during the day. Over there in the front seat here, it's pretty much always loaded like this. I have my duffel bag with clothes that I don't necessarily wear on a regular basis, but clothes that I do need. So that's pretty much the function of the duffel bag. My hiking boots are also in there, which take up quite a bit of space. So that's pretty much hiking boots and extra clothes. My backpack has all my camera gear and my drone. It's pretty, and my laptop is in there. So all the electronics are in there. So that backpack alone has a lot of the value stored in the car. So I tend to take that with me. Little trash can there hanging on the passenger side seat. And that's pretty much it. My water bottle, which is also essential. And this is just, you know, it's for driving mode. I do a lot of driving. It's nice to have the water bottle. It's nice to have the trash can. It's nice to have my backpack right there, front and center, and my tunes, which are very important to me. So I'm going to turn on the lights here. These are just LED string lights. It's 16 feet worth of LED string lights. You can't really tell, but they're really, I don't want to say super bright, because obviously you just see these tiny little pearl lights, and they're, you know, they're spaced quite far apart. But for me, this is exactly what I want when I'm hanging out. And on the brightest setting at night, it's more than enough for me. Very cheap on Amazon, under 20 bucks easily. Just wrap them along. I weave them through the little arm bars here, and I just kind of wrapped it around and tied it up, and it's amazing. I couldn't have been happier with that. They're remote controlled. If I want to do like Christmas theme or funky like colors, I can do that. So it's nice, but I'm pretty much chilling on the white all the time. This is my sticker. This is my pride and joy, my sticker wall here. One of my favorite parts about visiting the national parks is selecting a sticker, and they have different visitor centers. The different ones have different stickers, so it's always been fun. We have 11 stickers here. We're trying to get like 50 more stickers. It's going to cover this whole drawer and really bring it to life and give it a lot of character, and just like, you know, badge of honor for my travels. You know, blood, sweat, and tears went into getting these stickers. I have my thermostat here. It's not really a thermostat, it's just a thermometer, but it's magnetic here, so it's just kind of on there on the hardware of the drawer, which is really cool. It lets me know the humidity of the car and the temperature, which I'm always keeping tabs on. My fan here is just clipped. It's a USB fan. It has 3 modes. It's really good at circulating the air, or I can just aim it on me in the summertime, and it makes a huge difference. So that's that. This big old thing is kind of a luxury item. It's an air purifier. This one on Amazon, about $100, and it's kind of weird to think that you have an air purifier designed for kind of like big room in your car, but you know, I'm driving a lot. I'm driving in the desert a lot. I'm driving, it's dusty a lot where I'm in the city, or if I have my windows down, and air quality is just really big for me. You know, air is like the first thing we need to survive. And especially in the summertime in California, there's fires and the air quality is not so great. So it makes a difference for me. This little unit can purify the air in this tiny space like that. So I can really tell the difference when I wake up and I'm just breathing, or I'm laying down doing a meditation. It's something that's important to me. And it fits here. I can tuck it under the bed platform when I'm not using it. And the Jackery is more than enough to power it for a couple of hours, and that's all you really need for a space this small. Moving over here, this is a flexible tripod that you can see I just wrapped around the arm bar here, and it has a phone attachment. So what I do is I just slide my phone right in here, and then I just watch movies laying down. So it's kind of like a tiny little cinema. If I'm feeling really special, I will route the audio Bluetooth to my car, so then I can have surround sound, right? It's kind of funny. It's like this tiny screen, you get a big surround sound. So if I'm watching a movie or something, I really want to do that, I'll just hook up the Bluetooth sound. So that's kind of nice as well. So the setup allows it. I can't drive when there's bed mode. So there's bed mode and there's driving mode, because this seat has to go all the way up. And as you can see, it's just not enough room for me to sit down and like drive that way. So when I'm ready, I just move my pillow down there, and I'll just fold the mattress. It's just a foam mattress, so it folds really, really easily. And I'll just fold it and push it down. And then I usually like to keep my gun out of sight, so the home for the gun is under here. And then from there, I lift the platform up. It's on door hinges. As you can see, it comes up, and more door hinges for these legs. And there's magnets here to just kind of catch those. And then the air purifier, I just kind of move down here for now. And then this just drops down like that. It does lay flat, but the gun's there right now. So this is my fridge, I guess, now that you can see. Actually, when the bed platform's engaged, I can actually open it a little bit and reach in and get stuff. So I kind of strategically place stuff that I want to grab at the top, so that if I'm in bed and I want like a cold beer or something, I can still get it while I'm in bed mode. Right now, while I'm driving, I'll just tuck my air purifier into there. This is my gym bag. Usually it just stays right here when I'm driving. I can also throw it on the fridge right there. And then I have some space here. Sometimes, if I'm eating in the car, this is what I'll actually do. I'll just come in here and I'll just sit down. Like, I'm a pretty small guy, so I eat here sometimes. If I get like to go or something like that and I just want to eat it in the car and be super stealthy, I'll just crack a window, turn on the fan, and I'll just lay out my spread right here. I'll watch something, and it's good enough for me to eat. And it's kind of silly, but it works, and I think that's the main thing, right? It just works, and I'm like super grateful for it. And then when I'm done, I can actually stand right here and do the bed, sit on the fridge if I want to, and that's that. Then I'm ready to drive.
Awesome. How do you pick a place to park so you feel safe and have a good night's sleep? And how do you shower?
That's a great question. I think for potential van lifers or anyone trying to live out of their car, those are big issues. Like, where are you going to park, and like, how are you going to clean yourself? How are you going to take care of yourself? So with the parking, really, I think that if you're being stealthy like this, if you just have an SUV or something, it makes it infinitely easier, right? Even if you have something like an e-camper, or if you have a big Sprinter, like, people know, right? People kind of assume you're living there. So it gets kind of harder to get away with certain things. But with this, you can really just park it anywhere. And my rule is I want to feel safe, and I don't want anyone else to feel like they're not safe. I don't want to park in a neighborhood and have someone wonder why this car is in front of their neighborhood. So you might find a spot and it's a big level empty spot, but if you go there, there's no one around, and the people that live there are going to be like, who is this guy parking there? You really have to use common sense. If you go into a neighborhood and you see a lot of cars on the road, then you know that these people living in this neighborhood are used to seeing cars on the street. Nothing's going to be abnormal about that, right? Just use common sense. Park in a place where there are no security guards patrolling at night, right? 24-hour surveillance. Just like take advantage of the fact that it's stealthy if it is, but also just use your common sense, right? Where do cars normally stay overnight? Are there other cars around this area? Am I going to be the only one? Is it well lit? You know, I don't want to share directly my strategies because I think this is a part of the journey. When you live in your car, you kind of like learn, you kind of like want to learn for yourself a little bit and just kind of like develop that and just learn your own campsites and like learn good places to park. But it's mostly just common sense for me. As well as taking a shower. For me, I have a subscription to Planet Fitness. It's $25 a month, but I have access to all the Planet Fitness gyms across the country, which there are plenty when you're in an urban area. There are plenty, a handful to choose whenever you're in the city. I will say that when I'm at the national parks, though, it's harder to shower. So I usually just bite the bullet and just wipe myself down with like wet wipes or shower wipes when I'm in the national parks camping, because I don't want to run out of the park sometimes 2-3 hours back to the city where I can get a good shower in. So Planet Fitness is how I do it, $25 a month.
How does your friends and family react knowing that you live in your car?
Friends, they're pretty okay with it. In my friend group, I think I'm kind of the weird one anyway, so to speak, the weird one. So this is just kind of like par for the course for me in terms of how my friends see it. They don't judge me, they love me, so they know that I've always enjoyed kind of like lately being outdoors and hiking. This is just like the kind of natural next step for me to do something kind of crazy like this, just like quit my job. And family as well, super supportive. I have two brothers. I have a brother and a sister rather, and they're kind of, you know, normal. So I guess my parents are happy that they got 2 out of 3 that are living the normal lifestyle. And their oldest, you know, I'm still a responsible guy. I still got a good head on my shoulders, and you know, I think they know that I'll be all right. So, and they're big parks enthusiasts, nature enthusiasts to a certain degree. So they're kind of pretty much on par with this. They like traveling as well.
How can you tell me a story that you will never ever forget when living in your car?
For me, since I've only been doing this for a short amount of time, I haven't really been to a lot of the big name parks yet. So I guess for me, I would have to say it would be my first outing in the element. It would be my trip to Acadia National Park. I'd never been there. I'd never really been up to New England. And it was my first trip. It was a 12-hour drive in the element. It was my first time sleeping in a Walmart parking lot. It was my first time showering at a Planet Fitness. It was like my first time living out of the car. Like, this was going to give me a taste of what the next couple years was going to be like. And for that reason, you know, I won't forget it. I won't forget that Planet Fitness in Bangor, Maine. I won't forget like the meals I had in that car. I will never forget that Walmart parking lot. And luckily, fortunately, if you go to Acadia National Park, that Walmart is like 30 minutes outside of the park, and it's one of the nicest, cleanest Walmarts I've ever been to, and they're super chill about people parking there. So you will literally see 20 people sleeping in their cars, camper vans. I saw a girl in her Honda Civic. I remember running into Walmart like at 11 o'clock at night to like get some snacks, and it was a really great experience. And not to mention Acadia National Park, one of the top parks I've been to so far.
Any advice or recommendation for people who wants to start living in their car?
Definitely. I think the main piece of advice I would impart on someone that is potentially looking out for this journey or looking to start this journey would just be to just do it. Don't overthink it so much. Don't worry about like what could go wrong. Don't worry about what people think. Don't worry about what kind of car or what you have or what you don't have. Don't worry about whether you know how to build something or whether you have the money. Like, if you want to do this, do it, and make sure you have a reason why. I think that is really what I want to impart here. Like, you need to have a strong reason why you're doing this. If somebody asks you why you're doing this, you need to be able to tell them, because that's what's going to keep you going. That's what's going to keep you going when things get uncomfortable, when the car breaks down, when you get lost, when you don't know what you're doing, when you don't know where to sleep at night. The only thing that's going to keep you going is a strong like devotion to why you're doing this. And it could be something like saving money. It could be freedom. It could just be, you know, like exploring the country. Like, whatever it is, it has to mean something strong to you. It really, just find that and then go for it.
Tell me about your ultimate goal.
My ultimate goal is just to see this country. There's so much to see, and so many people live their entire lives in just a small radius and a small bubble. And I think there's something very powerful to be said about even just driving through the country. If you were to do nothing else and just drive through the country, if you never got out of your car and you just drove across the country, you would see like just how vast it is, right? And a lot of people just live their lives in this one city, and that's all they know. But when you get to see like the different types of people and the different regions and the different parks and the different specialties and the different cuisines, like it's crazy. Like in the different Native American nations even, and like the Southwest and the East Coast and the differences in climate, it's very powerful. It will be a growing, healing experience, whether you're looking for that or not. Just traveling and seeing like both how big the world is and also how small it is, and like how different people, hundreds, thousands of miles away, living completely different lifestyles. They're not so different from you, and there's a lot to learn. Just like small towns, cities, just I mean, it's really an incredible, enriching experience.
Thank you so much, Hao, for sharing about yourself, opening your house to us, for being part of the Element Hunter. I wish you can success your goals, and I believe you will inspire other people to find their life goals after watching this video. And see you next Honda Element video.
Thank you so much for having me on the channel. As we always say on the Halvu Moto vlog, I wish you health, peace, and unlimited joy on your journey, wherever it may take you. Thank you so much.
Halvu Moto Blog, right? Steven Aldaco.
Right.
And Element Lifestyle. Thank you, Aldaco, for the food, for providing the goods, having fun here in the Element.
And thanks for providing the heat and shelter in your element.